Speaking freedom, giving you the answers to be free. Be free.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's performance is about to begin.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Speaking Freedom TV. Of course, I'm your host, Dr. Casey, and today we have a new guest. Hey, Aaron, could you please introduce yourself? Make sure I'm saying your name correctly, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, so yes, first thing is my name is Arun, Arun, Arun. Yeah, this is how we pronounce Arun.
Okay.
So it's another name of sun in Sanskrit, and which is copper in color. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
copper in color, like you know. So I'm a spiritual practitioner, and mostly I work with the people those who want in healing in the terms of astrological stuff. Like when I'll try to explain it a bit more. Like I look into people's chart, and I predict events what has happened, and I predict the events which is been going to happen. And some kind of people, they need healing. Some people are actually interested to understand how these all this kind of ability, they say it's a supernatural ability or something that sort. Like, but for my own understanding, for me it is like it's an ability. If you understand your own
Mm-hmm.
self very correctly, like you can actually understand what is going around you. Like you can see what is the events are happening. So some people, they are actually they are not into that sort of awareness. They will feel this person is a kind of supernatural guy, or a kind of things, or stuffs like that. But also I feel like people can come to that particular point, which I would in a spiritual text in India, that they call it as samadhi. This particular point of existence is called as samadhi. And if we translate it into English, in we can say it is a kind of orgasmic existence. So people
Mm-hmm.
can come to that particular point, and they can experience that bliss, and they can come to the things like that. So I wrote a book also about that. It is available in Amazon. Its name is Cosmic Engineering and Orgasmic Continuum. This is my first book. I wrote my second book, which is available also in the that is not in Amazon. It's actually a free PDF. So this is the, and also I do different kind of podcasting. Also I look into people's chat, like what is the events are happening. And if you look into my YouTube channel, you can understand that I have read almost more than 20 to 30 people's chat in live. That feed is there in my YouTube channel. Also I have predicted about the American election almost 3 to 4 years ago, and that also you can look into that. And also before COVID, I have predicted that thing. That also is there in my YouTube channel. You can check the date of that particular feed which is came out. So yeah, this is about me.
So, I think I'm really going to enjoy this conversation. Um,
Mhm.
I tried to hold our conversation, our pre-show conversation, really short because when it
Mhm.
comes to things about spirituality, especially when it comes to like being prophetic, having dreams, being able to foresee things, and being able to um it's a mixture of feeling the energy around you, encompassing the energy around you, and kind of reading the energy around you. And I say that because when you brought it up, it reminded me of sometimes when I'm in a room, it feels like I'm in a movie. You know, how some movies they have a person and then they look at and you can see everything is moving around them, but for
Mhm. Mhm.
them, it's like still. And sometimes that's how it feels when you are an empath or intuitive or have that level of awareness, because a lot of people tend to think that you have to be somebody special versus tapping into your inner being and really, just leveling up mentally. So how did you start on this path and journey?
Like in India, this is like it's my family tradition. I got
Hmm.
introduced into these kind of things very young age. Then while growing up, I studied. I went to university also. I did an engineering in software basically. That was my graduation subject. Like and so if you look into the programming things also, it's kind of abstract ideas like ones and zeros and things like that. So the based on that we program machines and we make it to talk to us. For example, AI is a new advancement which has been came out, like it's also abstract idea. Like you give a prompt to the terminal which you are working with, whether it will be chat gpt or olama or whatever the thing, you give the prompt and you update the prompt, and it will give the output based on the trial and error method which they already have. It's not thinking. The AI whatever we are having is not thinking. it's,
It's
it's
just
like
more receiving.
it's like a more of like a miss and hit method. So it
Hmm.
will give some hit the miss, and from the misses they will make out a hit. This is what I
Mm.
can in abstract level, this is how the AI or the language models which has been working right now. uh, so this is how I grew up. Then I went to a guru. She is in the lineage of Narayana Guru. This is He was a mystic. He was born in somewhere in Kerala, and this is his absolute teaching, and it's about understanding the self. So the true freedom lives on the self. If you really understand the self, you can actually get the true freedom. This is how I came into this. And I think you are aware about the literature of Kafka, right? Like where the guy who was turned into as an insect when while he was in sleep. He was a traveling salesman, and he went into uh, a state of an insect, and all of his family started to behave to him in some different way. This is a metaphysical reality. Like what is real, the you have to think really deep and thoroughly. What is real, that will actually take you to the real. If you can think, I mean people can think. This is how I got into this.
So, in your family lineage, what
Mhm.
generation of um are you in the line of, because you said it kind of runs through your family. So is your grandparents, your parents, they're also into this? Or is
My
it just like
parents.
normal in India?
No, no, not in India. Like in India, there is a system of caste. This is mainly misunderstood by the, like when the Western peoples came into India. Now Indians also don't understand how India works. It's like a lot of things are going on in India. I don't
Mm.
know whether you have ever visited India. If you visited India, you will understand. Like every 100 kilometers, the culture will be changing. The language will be changing, the way they dress is changing, the way they think is changing, everything is changing. This is
Is
how
it
in
because
India.
of the people that has come in and influenced the area?
No, not exactly. India is really diverse.
Okay.
This is how the culture has been evolved in India. So in here, whatever the wisdom, whatever the knowledge you got, you teach, you taught to your offspring, or your son or doctor or whatever. So this has become a lineage. And people who came, the British people who came and captured India, they started to call it as a caste inside the, and they call it as a religion also, Hindu
Hmm.
religion. But there is no religion as such in India. Like it's a way of culture, because we have thousands of gods. Like one religion can have thousands of god. Like I would say it's a thousands of religions came into a single umbrella. So the people so misunderstood that, and they started to call it as a caste. And
Mhm.
so this is the lineage, like the grandparents are teaching that to son, and this
Mhm.
is some secret knowledge which has been given in the inside the family tradition, because it's always help their offspring to survive in the whatever the nature, because now we are connected over internet and wires and things like that. Like, but previously it was not like that. You really
Mhm.
need a kind of really deep USP in order to survive the things which you are going through. So this is maybe approximately 2000 to 2500 years old, this particular tradition, I feel, as I
Okay.
studied. Yeah.
And I asked that because I know for me, um, when I was younger, I knew I had dreams, and I just thought that everybody in the whole wide world, had these
Mm-hmm.
type of dreams. And then as
Mm-hmm.
I got older, I realized that that wasn't necessarily the case.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I did come to the knowledge of is that a lot of my family members have dreams. The only thing that I will say is that nobody told us about it as we were growing up. So
Mm-hmm.
even if we could have been useful, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't something that we were able to use to
Mm-hmm.
our advantage because we didn't have that cultural um passing down of information that you're speaking of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it is really great and refreshing to be able to give our listeners some insight on the way you're supposed to pass down the knowledge that you acquire in your family versus how a lot of people actually experience that. What was the hardest thing or what is the hardest thing about pursuing this journey of astronomy, astrology, spirituality, and being a vessel to others?
The hardest part is like many people will actually misunderstand the things, like when we are talking about the astrology, like we have a geometry, the universe have a geometry, we can call it as um, the sacred geometry. So this is how we can call it, like everything. So this mathematics we can understand,
Mhm.
and we can position peoples and things in the layer of this uh, uh, particular simulation. Maybe we can call it as,
Mhm.
like, we call it as Maya. This is generally don't exist. So this is a particular simulation. We can understand the how the body is working, how the mind is working, how the people are working. So also, if something is not good for you, for example, you are not getting a job from a long time, and you fall in a love, and that guy, you felt like you got cheated by that guy or the women, or you felt like somebody is not so good for you. So if you understand this particular sacred geometry, like, you can actually do repairs, like, like if a computer is gone wrong, you can change the RAM, hard disk, or
Mhm.
software, or something like that. So in that way, if your life is not working as it is intended, what you could do, you could do repairs. So, apart from astrology, there is a particular science on that. This is called the Tantra Shastra. So, using your body, your mind, your chanting the particular mantra and things like that, you can repair. You can make repairs on this. So, this part many people are actually scared of. Like, where when I'm talking to people, people will be thinking like, this guy is going
Well,
to do a
okay,
black
so
magic, and
I
you
think
know.
it's more so because in our society, in our mindset, when we think of tantra, we think
Mhm,
of the sexual portion
mhm,
of it, and what we see on TV, which is they're going to highlight the part that's more racy, that's
mhm,
more, tantalizing to the mind to draw you
mhm,
in. But now you're telling us that it is a whole different side of the practice that actually can reconfigure, if I'm using the
mhm,
proper verbiage, your life based on that knowledge and methodology, correct?
mhm. So when we are saying the sexual part, it is also a repairment in the life. Like, if one relationship is not working, you have to be really seductive in order to repair that. Whether you agree or don't agree, that doesn't matter. If you
Mm-hmm.
are not good in this particular art form, which is Kam Sutra, like, their relationship is definitely going to break. So, I mean, this is a part of Tantra only, but I don't know why people are highlighting that thing a lot. That not only that, if you look into Indian, if you are in the Indian continent, you can actually understand. Like, it's a sort of black magic. People should say, like, you can
I
call
mean, but
spirit.
anything that isn't religion, Christianity, they call black magic or act like it's some, spooky
Aha.
something. And it really, um, is bothersome to me because it downplays all of the spiritual practices that existed prior to the 1600s when their religion really
Mhm.
started being pushed out. So it is very interesting and intriguing to learn portions of um life and spiritual practices prior to the indoctrination.
It's like, if you look into the history of Jesus Christ, he was a healer basically.
Mhm,
He healed
mhm,
many people, but when after his followers, they didn't allow other healers. So in the lineage, you can see they killed a lot of women,
mhm,
saying they are witches and things like that. And Druidry is a particular religion. I would love to call it as a esoteric religion. The same way the tantra is working, that is also
mhm.
working with the esotericism. So these peoples also, they took out from the idea of saying that this is a sinister activity and things like that. And even Christianity has did a lot of things, like any Semitic religion has this particular effect on things, like the Buddhism will never say that, Jaina will never say that, Hindu will never say that, but the Semitic religions such as Islamism and Christianity,
Hold,
if
hold,
if
hold on
we
1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I apologize.
all right, yeah. So we were talking about the religions, like all sort of Semitic religions has this particular thing of saying anything. They don't assert there are multiple truth is available in order to realize the self, or in order to realize the full potential of a human being. If anybody says there is only one way, that then they have to constantly fight for that, like, because
Mhm,
they have to say that everything else is wrong. But
mhm,
if you look into India or other religions, like for example Jaina, Buddha, or Hindu, or whatever the religion, they will say there are multiple ways to realize the truth and the self. So because of that, they don't have to fight with anybody. You
mhm.
understand? Because that is also true. Christianity also true, but Christianity or the Semitic religions cannot understand this truth.
Accept it. Mhm.
For example, the Marpapa has said, the Pope has said something, and they rewritten that entire word recently. That you could actually. And so these
Y-
kind of things is happening.
Yeah, it is. If you grow, well, I can't even say growing up religious, but it is hard to accept a lot of things because even when you don't grow up religious, religion is so pushed on you as the only way of being right that it
Mm-hmm,
makes people war within themselves about a lot of things, about looking, just getting knowledge of anything other than religion or any
mm-hmm,
religion other than the one that they believe is correct. And then also, it really limits your ability to believe in yourself because a lot of times in religion, you are told that you are not good enough, that,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you by yourself, you can't do it,
mm-hmm,
but you can only do it if you take on this religion. And it
mm-hmm,
really is so crazy because to think that people are really told that on your own, you're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When literally the Bible doesn't even say that. It says, like
Mm-hmm.
everything is within you, seek within Christ,
Mm-hmm.
understand Christ. It don't even talk about becoming
Mm-hmm.
Jesus or becoming like
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. It talks about becoming like
Mm-hmm.
Christ. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people war with that. I have had a lot of online arguments
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell people, help people understand that Christ is just a title for the anointing, for um what we know as being the Holy Spirit, and that, and people are so gun-ho on Christ being this person versus being an entity that everybody has access to at all times. It's really baffling to try to teach people the spiritual aspect of life and understanding oneself and really coming to knowledge of who they are internally, because they always war with what they've been told by religion. Do you find that to be
Mm-hmm.
true as well?
Yeah, the thing is like, if you really believe, the thing, I have read a book which is a satanic bible actually. Like, people are saying it is about antichrist and things like that, but if you look into that particular book, it's basically talk it's a greatest self-help book, which I felt like, so. But if you really understand the bible, you will never be in a Christian anymore. This is the irony, you will leave that entire dogmatic style. This is
Hmm.
like
A lot of people focus on their favorite scriptures in the Bible and they hold
Mhm,
on to those. They don't really read for understanding or for
mhm,
truth. A lot of people are reading to coax and sugarcoat their own life. So they find the scriptures that
mhm,
they want to make them okay with whatever is going on, versus saying, okay, let's start from scratch. What can I do differently? How can I be better? Because it's
mhm,
easier to kind of use religion as a scapegoat.
mhm, mhm.
So
Religion is,
go ahead.
yeah, spirituality is a kind of the sugar inside, the fruit actually. And every religion is the kind of poison around, or a dogma around. It's a nutshell. Only if you break this shell, then only you can go to the
To
core
sweetness.
of the fruit.
Hmm.
That is
Hmm.
the thing. If you are really religious, you will never reach the truth. Like,
Hmm.
you will be, there is no, there is not a such thing as a Hindu truth seeker, or a Christian truth seeker, or
Hmm.
a Islamic truth seeker, or
Right.
anything that sort. Like, it's a
You're
truth
either a
seeker.
truth seeker or you're not a truth seeker, plain and
Yeah,
simple, because the truth is the truth, regardless. You can't cut the truth
yeah,
and be like, well,
truth
this
cannot be
part is
two.
true.
Truth cannot be two. You
Hmm.
understand? Truth cannot be two. If it is true, then it cannot be called as truth.
Hmm. I agree. So tell us more about how you come about your day-to-day activities within what you do. A lot of my questions are geared towards um your journey into evolving into this, but for you it seems as though this is natural. This is how you've been raised and brought up to understand. So bring us up to speed and tell us a little bit more about your spiritual practices and some things that we could do to incorporate those practices that could be helpful in our lives.
Mhm. So my practice is basically based on divine feminine. So when I'm talking about the divine feminine, according to the Upanishad teaching, or the philosophical understanding, how the rishis has been understood the world, is there is two things. One is masculine, and another one is feminine. This is one and zero, and masculine is the bodha. Like, you understand the yin and yang symbol, or the for the Taoism,
Mm-hmm.
so the masculine is Shiva, and feminine is Shakti. So my practice is to understand the Shakti means Prakriti. So why I am doing this? Because uh, Prakriti is the dimension where as a bodha I am existing. So this is the place where I am living. So this is Prakriti. If I want to live in this particular place in some certain way, and if I want what I want in this particular place, I should ask to mother. It is very easy to ask to mother, mama, mama, give me, give me. She will be, most of the mothers are like that, like, it's easier than fathers. So this Prakriti is mother. So I have a practice which is into Mahavidyas. This is 10 tantric goddesses, Kali, Tara, Shodachi, Bhuvaneshwari. In that way there are 10 tantric goddesses. So this particular thing I have published as a small book, which you can download from my website, which is www.arunsyoga.in. So in
And that
that
will
book,
be listed in the caption once this video is out, released.
so that you can download for free from my website www.arunsyoga.in. So this particular book and the practices help you to increase your mind, your ability to get things done. So basically, um, you can be become more. The mind as the mind goes more, you can be become more, and you can see more, and you can understand more, and you can experience more, because life is just more. Actually, it's
Hmm.
not like it's not just little, it's more. So in order to experience the life in fully, like, you have to open up all your senses. Like, we have five senses. We have eye, we have nose, we have a tongue, we have ear, we have touch. All these five senses we have, and if the ability of these senses are more, so we will get perception, which is extrasensory perception. So these senses you can accelerate with the help of these practices. This is traditional practices which I have collected and listed in a small book. So, and I give it a public domain because I feel it is, like, it's useful for those who seek, basically, like, I mean,
Hmm.
so that is the practice I do, and I have listed it there. And it open up your perception about your reality. It will open up your mind, and basically you can experience the clairvoyant and all those sort of stuff with these particular practices. So when I am talking about the spiritual practices, if the spiritual practices are not giving you uh, a different ability that you are not having other ways, that practices don't have a point to do. Like, if one practice you are doing, it should give you something,
Hmm. Yeah,
otherwise
I
that
agree.
if the, otherwise that practice is not correct practice. It's
Mhm.
something different, like, so
So
this
let me ask you a
particular,
question. When you say it should be giving you something, kind of explain what you mean.
like, it will, as I said, it will increase your senses. It will increase your ability of your senses. So what happens, the ability of the senses increase and increase, you will naturally achieve extrasensory perceptions,
Hmm.
like clairvoyant, and lucid dreams. And even you can attract things, positive things and negative things also. This is like, you can repair the entire system.
So let me ask you this question. How does what you're talking about align with manifestation?
Manifestation is a Sanskrit term. We can call it as a Vashyam. It's a one small word in this entire Tantra Shastra, like,
Mhm.
in this
Okay.
entire umbrella.
Okay. You can
So,
finish explaining.
yeah, so the thing is, like, step by step, you can increase your perception, and you can increase your senses. You can increase your concentration and things like that. This is the method which I do, and that's the method I teach as well. Like,
And how do you walk someone through this? I know you have the book, and we're
mhm,
definitely, I'm gonna go look at the book because I want to know as a person that
mhm,
um is clairvoyant and has a lot of spiritual sense within me, with the
Mm-hmm.
dreams and visions, whether it's sleeping or wake, with the automatic writing, with all of those things. It has really got me intrigued because I would love to expand my own mindset, perception, and understanding, and
Mm-hmm.
grow deeper than where I find myself now. So tell us the steps. Walk us through it just a little bit. Don't give your whole book away, but walk us
Yeah.
through how this goes.
So the starting point is this, like, as you said, you have a lot of spiritual sense. The thing you have to understand that the moment your mind is in conflict with what is right or wrong, which your your identity or your persona will identify it as a sin, if your mind is in conflict with the right or wrong. So now, that is the starting point. There is no right or wrong, which means that your mind will be free. The moment you judge, your mind will come into a conclusion that there is something is right, there is something is wrong. If mind can come into that sort of conclusion, that mind cannot be in the path of yoga, because you cannot distinguish between right or wrong, because everything is god. Then how the god can be wrong? Like, it is not
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know
That's
so that is the
that I
starting point.
that in itself is just powerful. That one tool could free so many people, because a lot of times I'm sitting here thinking like, well, dang, the any times that I am conflicted within myself, it is
Mhm.
normally, is this right or is this wrong, versus having it be viewed as an experience that was predestined for me to either go with or not. It's not about a right or wrong. It's about the journey and the path that I choose, or that was chosen for me, and I just follow along with it.
Mhm. Exactly. How strongly you can believe, and how strongly, as you believe in this, the intuition will start to come on you. Like, this is the way you have to go, this is the way you have to go.
Mhm,
So if you
mhm,
follow this intuition will be stronger and stronger and stronger,
mhm,
and it
mhm,
will definitely going to take you in the right place. And in the way, you have to be really strong. Like,
mhm,
like the thing which I will say to read the introduction of the satanic bible, at least. There is 9 satanic statement which is there in the satanic bible. That this is not the devil's bible, this is satanic bible, which is written by Anthony or somebody like that. Like, it's basically from the west, basically. So if you understand that, like, you can actually go into deeper into this. And also this following the goddesses, like the as a female or as a woman, it is easy to come into the divine feminine experience more than that of a man. Like, why? Because you are directly connected to I mean, you are a woman, so you are directly connected to divine feminine. Like, you are a woman is a circle. It's a cycle, actually. Like,
mhm,
it comes from moon to moon. Like,
mhm,
the menses will come, and every day the mind will change. If you really deeply
mhm,
observe, it will come like that. And another cycle, your hormones will be imbalanced. And why? Because they are greatly connected to the emotional intelligence of the existence, basically. Like,
mhm.
if the existence don't have an emotional intelligence, as a being, we will never be in having an emotional intelligence. So the women is more connected to the emotional intelligence of the existence. So the feminine path, or the tantric path, or the god path of the goddesses, you can connect more deeply into the existence in a larger scale.
So, do you use what tools, if any, do you use within your practice?
In
I
tantra
mean, of course,
practice.
you the charts. I know you have the charts. I
Mhm.
mean, which is based on explain the chart. I want to give a little briefing for the people that are listening that may not know about the charts? I know you need your birthday and other key information, correct?
Mhm. So the chart is like created based on place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth, and it will be in square in the shape. Basically, it is in West South Indian style chart, which is like, and it has a tall equal squares which has been placed inside this particular square, and there are 9 planets which will travel in the uh, tall squares, like similar to the circle which we can see in the Western astrology, but this more or likely we designed it in the way which looks like a square. So then each planet will be having one energy, and each planet will never stay in a particular place for a long time. For example, moon is in Aries and it will stay there for 24 days. After 24 days, moon will travel to the Taurus. So the different planet, sun will be the time of the sun will be staying in a same place, will be different from the time of the moon which is staying in the same place. So based on that we can actually understand the energy of the energy of a particular person, and based on that we can recite some chant or mantra, or some kind of yoga or some kind of breath work. So this will actually help them to increase their energy in a larger way. And the path of the goddesses, this 10 tantric goddesses which I am talking about, it's a path for the healers. Like, it's a more deep, it can be practiced generally all around also. And if you go really deep into that, it will actually take you into this orgasmic existence which I am talking about. Like, we call it as samadhi, where is you will understand there is no reality, or there is no faults, or there is no good, there is nothing, is there is no distinction between anything. It's a non-dual existence basically. So it will take you to that particular place. So it starts from the chart, and based on the chart there will be mantras will be different, or there will be practices will be different for each person. And even the sexual postures based on the yonis, each one will be having a sexual compatibility between their partner. You have a particular yoni, and you have a partner, he has a particular yoni, and the sexual compatibility between these people can be achieved by following a particular postures which is from Kama Sutra. Those are 64 in number total. So these things you can follow, and you can achieve greater intimacy also. That greatly marketed as the neo tantra in the most of the people. They take only that part, and but it is not to, it's that it is basically a treatment in order to increase the intimacy between the couples basically. uh, I mean, it's then only you can have a very good family, and connections and stuff like that. If you are unhealthy, you will never have a good family or good job or good existence. Nothing is possible if you are so this is to make a healthy individual. But lately it is been taken that part only, and it is used to enjoy the liberation or the freedom or whatever. But that is also okay. But if you feel like that is not okay, then you can practice it as a couple, and this you can increase the intimacy. These things a chart can reveal, and each person's practice will be different from each person.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
And that's understandable. So you mentioned so many things in that little portion, but the question that comes to mind the most is really surrounding horoscopes and how those play into your day-to-day. First, because there are, I mean, you could look up 1,000 horoscope companies and they're going to say 1,000 different things for the same exact day. How does that play into the grand scheme of things?
Mm, I didn't understood your question exactly.
How does your horoscope, so your chart tells you about who you are based on the time
Mm-hmm.
that you began existing on this earth. How
Mm-hmm.
does horoscopes play into that? Because it's all kind of the same, but kind of not the same at the same time. Because
Mm,
your chart is it is what it is. It will not change from day to day. Your chart is based on circumstances that won't change. But when you talk about horoscopes, they change daily, and it's a lot of them coming from a lot of different sources. So, how do those two things, the horoscope and the astrology, work together?
like I so the chart birth chart as that the planets will travel in this particular chart every day. So based on that you will get effect in day to day life. Only if you are unconscious, if you are conscious on what you are exactly, then nothing can affect you basically. Then you can create your own destiny.
Mm.
So
Okay.
the horror, what the astrology, or I talk about Vedic astrology or the Jyotisha per se. This is the part of Vedic science. From the there are four Vedas. This is a one part of the Veda actually. So basically, the intention of this particular science is to take person to a cosmic or the liberated existence. That is the reason why it has been part of that,
Okay. That makes sense.
is that answering your question, or did I miss something, or
Yes, it does because just based on everything else that you said, despite what can be said, we literally are able to change the course of our lives and existence based on our level of understanding,
mm-hmm.
our ability to be open, and knowing that there is no right or wrong. So when you move different, you don't even need a horoscope. You don't even need all of these other things trying to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
play on your mind or tell you what to do, how you should act, or any of that, because you will be the more you rid yourself of all of these external voices that's, playing on your mind, then you will be able to come to your full truth and grow from there.
Yeah, exactly. So that in that thing, if you get into a practice, that practice has to be stayed with you. Like you should be having a very good practice in that particular way. Otherwise you will lose your senses or yourself in this
Hmm.
particular way.
Hmm.
Because many people, when I'm talking about many people, they will say, I saw God in this particular form. I saw God when I was using LSD. I saw God when I was using some meth, or I saw God, I was having sex with 10 different women. So
Hmm.
this is all illusionary perception. So you will
Hmm.
never understand your own self if you go behind your mind. So the vairagya has to be there. What has the illusionary nature? What is the thing which has non-illusionary nature? This we have to actually identify. Then a strong practice will keep you in the path of self-realization.
If there was anything that you would tell our listeners that could help change their lives today, not something that they got to do in particular, but if there was something that you could tell a person that could change their life today, what would it be?
Like there is two way of thinking is possible. One is relative thinking, and another one is absolute thinking. So the relative thinking is like this: you will relate yourself in order with the outside circumstances. For example, one person got a success, and you got drilled into that. this is my success, and I want to get a success, something similar to that. So this is relative thinking. And absolute thinking is the way you think what you relate yourself with the outside. So you understand, this is I am, I want this in my outside, and I relate myself with the outside. So there is a relative thinking and absolute thinking. So understand your whatever in your mind, whether it is a relative reality or the absolute reality, and that alone can free you from a lot of stuff.
That in itself was because a lot of people don't understand relative versus absolute, but the way that you explained it, really, is set to change some people's lives. So, um, is there anything else that you want to share in particular?
If you nothing, my website is available, which is www.arunsyoga.in, where people can come and they can.
Are you on
um,
Instagram or any social media or just YouTube?
YouTube mostly. Instagram also I'm available, but I don't use Instagram mostly.
Okay.
Most of the time I will be uploading the long form video and things like that in the YouTube, because it has a different algorithm than that
Mhm,
of
mhm,
the
mhm.
Instagram basically. Like, the discoverability of this particular thing is different from the other social media platform. Like,
Okay.
so
That's
if
understandable.
the thing is, like, it's working in a graph based thing, like, graph algorithm is how the Facebook is working. So you have a friend, and friend of the friend, it will be like that, it will give. But the YouTube works in entirely different way. It will give suggestion to some people in some other part, maybe in Bangladesh or something like that. So sometimes it works very great. So I believe in YouTube. That
Well, it was very nice speaking to you. I believe that our listeners will learn a lot,
Mhm,
especially just having the ability to get some insight and a brief overview about spirituality, astrology, astronomy, and getting a better understanding of the power of themselves. Um,
mhm,
because a lot of people put onus and put a lot of who they are is based on other people, and they put it on other people because I think it's easier to put that weight on somebody else when you're not okay with where you are and comfortable with the situation that you've created. So if you blame somebody else or you put it on somebody else, it takes the pressure off of you. But when you begin to acknowledge that you are the source of your happiness or unhappiness, and that you have to figure that out for you within you, it changes everything. It's just getting people to understand that the you within you is important. It's not weak. It's not faulty. You are created perfectly despite what society around you says.
mhm,
Well, I definitely enjoyed having you today, and
mhm.
I hope to have you back again soon. Do you have any final words for us? No. Said no. It's okay. All right. Well, until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Casey, not your typical clinical doctor. I am an ordained minister, but not your typical minister. I am also a certified life coach, love coach, sex coach, solution focused coach, transformation coach, and more. I have a whole lot of information that I would like to help you grow with. And I hope that soon I can help you be the best you that you can be. Confidence, spirituality, and purpose. That's wholeness, complete. Hi, I'm Casey, Dr. Casey. Welcome to Speaking Freedom. We are happy to have you, and we hope that we're able to help you in every way possible. Have a good evening. If you've enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. New episode every Friday.